Hi guys, welcome to Trazone.com. This is Mohit Soni. Right in front of you is the BMW F900R. This is the naked version of the XR that we are riding right now, and we've completed a good amount of time with this motorcycle. We've clocked almost 300 kilometers on it, so we are in a very good position to tell you what it is like to ride on our Indian road conditions. As always, let's begin with the design. It's a nice looking motorcycle, quite muscular, minimalist, in true European naked roadster format, but it's got a lot of things that does shout that it's a big superbike. That's the big exhaust, the big alloy wheels, the fat tire, and again minimalist design continues at the back with this very G310R. Now we know where the inspiration comes from, and tail lamp. You've got the BMW embossing here. You've got those carbon finish things here. It's a nice tail. You don't need to do much with it, and that's the side. Swing arm looks really great. Seats, they look quite nice. They are also very comfortable, surprisingly. Pillion, a very small pillion would do just fine. Any buddy, let's say above 5'6", 5'7", it's going to be a bit of a struggle in multiple ways. Huge tank, you can grip it really well. And talking about things at the front, it continues with the naked European look. It's got a very weird headlight. It's not something that's very traditional or very let's say geometrically friendly, but it's got its own thing going, and you've got an LED DRL here as well. We've seen that in the G310R. Surprisingly, this motorcycle came on later, and it's been there on the international market, of course. And you've got LED turn indicators on both ends, and the golden forks with the grey tank and the red accents all around make it look really nice. Talking about ergonomics, I think that's the really best part, because you sit quite high, and it does look that is not going to be comfortable, but it is. You sit high, and yet the seat height is very low, so you're going to be really comfortable with this motorcycle. At a seat height of 815 mm, it should be easy for most Indian riders who are looking at a superbike and they've had previous experiences with other motorcycles in the country, and they feel quite at home, because I'm a KTM Duke 390 owner, and I see a lot of familiarity here. But obviously this feels much more bigger, much more intimidating, and much more sportier, because the handlebars are slightly more downside. That will quite resonate quite well with the 2017 Duke riders. And because why I'm saying this, because this is going to be very likely an upgrade for people who've been riding bikes like these, so they need to know about what the similarities are, and since I am the owner, I can tell you all of that as well. I told you about the ergonomics, about all of the comfort and the design. Now let's jump to the infotainment system. I like to call it infotainment system even on a BMW bike, is because that's how it is. Look at the screen, it looks fantastic. The way it starts up, it looks really nice. The screen also grabs a lot of attention on the road. It's not just the bike, because the way it's very naked, put out there, mounted really well. It doesn't move, so really good. You can control everything via this menu button, and this very iDrive scroller inspired from here. So you can see, you go down, and this is the second film that you can have. And this is something, again, these are the things you can choose from. You can connect your phone, of course, and go into settings and see all the information here. And I think, yeah, that's this is probably going to the main screen, and then this is going to be your second screen in the settings menu. And you can go, as you can see, you can go like this, and then you go back like this. Yep. Start stop button, there's only two modes, riding modes here, rain and road, and they can be controlled from here. You've got this neat patching as always on the BMW motorcycles, which I think is a great nifty addition. And yeah, that is the motorcycle. The lights are actually quite good, the illumination and spread is spot on. We were riding in the thick of night, and we did not find anything that made us complain about those LED headlamps. And yeah, that is the motorcycle in terms of how things are. Everything is quite conventional. And now, before we start talking about the riding part, let me answer your question, which you will in the comment section. Before that, let me show you and let me make you hear the exhaust. Let's jump to the riding part. So for a fact, we know that this motorcycle is powered by a parallel twin motor. It's an 850cc unit making around 105 PS of power and 92 Newton meters of torque. That's a lot of torque for a motorcycle. And of this category and the way the engine has been put and how the cylinders have been arranged. And it's got a slipper clutch, it's got a quick shifter, both of them work really well. We've tried that multiple times, so we can tell you immediately. The engine is also very smooth, very refined. There's hardly any vibrations, only at the top end where you will see a treadline, but those are also negligible. I'm just nitpicking here. What is also great is the very light clutch. The gearbox is something that you need to get used to. It feels a little stiff. The gears don't go through easily, but once the oil warms up quite well, the gearbox also responds quite well. It is still something that it can be improved though, and like I said, it makes its horsepower and torque around, let's say, horsepower is around 9,500 RPM and the torque is around 7,000 RPM. And it's not a very tall geared motorcycle, nor it's a very short geared motorcycle. It's somewhere in between. Got a very nice tailored power band, and obviously there is a lot of rideability on offer in the city. You can live with this motorcycle on a daily basis. It's got good amount of low end and mid range torque. There's good amount of top end as well. You can do 180 kilometers at any given time on an empty stretch. So I think that's enough top end for us. And like I said, the clutch is also light. You can go through the gears quite easily once it's warmed up. So riding it in the city is going to be quite easy when it comes to the engine part. And there's no denying that this is very flexible, very easy motor, and given the fact that the ergonomics are quite good, the weight of almost 211 kgs is not that much felt while, let's say, maneuvering through city, or even while getting it out of while at parking speeds, you're parking in or something like that. It doesn't feel that heavy. So living with this motorcycle is going to be absolutely fantastic. It's going to be a great experience. It's not a lot of effort. Riding it in the city, on the highway, doing touring, doing weekend rides is no problem whatsoever. This is quite an all-rounder motorcycle with a lot of comfort on offer. Of course, this is for guys who've ridden 300, 400, 500cc motorcycles. They'll find it quite appealing. Ever since the BS6 has kicked in, the engines have become much more linear, much more easier to live with. Even the fuel economy is quite good, around 20-25 kilometers. If you ride it absolutely sanely, the numbers can go even higher. Let's say around 25, not above that. And obviously nobody is going to ride it like that, but yeah, that's what the motorcycle is all about. It's a very easy, very calm motorcycle. At the same time, it's got the rush, it's got a lot of torque, a lot of horsepower to play with. You'll enjoy it every single time you open the throttle. There is always torque. It will push you ahead of traffic. You can stay there like that, and it's going to be great. But the even more important part is how the chassis and suspension are behaving. Well, the stock suspension, as always for a rider of my weight, I'm slightly heavy, does end up feeling a bit soft. There is considerable amount of nosedive as well for riders who have been on the lighter side, and they've been saying the same. Well, I did notice a good amount of nosedive while braking from very high speed, but it wasn't unnerving or anything like that. I did up the preload, and the preload is adjustable quite easily with a knob. So yeah, you can make things better. And of course, with my weight, I have to up the preload on almost every single motorcycle I ride, and this is no exception. With you will still, if you like to push harder, and if you push harder on a daily basis or whenever you ride, you will find yourself upping the preload. The front suspension, of course, is not adjustable. The rear is. It is going to give you a lot of confidence once you do that, and you should be doing that. And yeah, the tires are also quite impressive on this motorcycle. We've tested it in the absolute soaking wet and intermittent conditions, and then dry conditions. It's been holding on quite well. The highway stability is also excellent. Even at top speed, it's very stable thanks to the steering damper which is on offer. I think that is one of the many things that is also getting standardized in most motorcycles. It's sort of a safety feature which protects you from tank slappers and giving you more confidence while riding hard and fast on a racetrack or on highways. And I think that's great. Brakes, pretty good, really impressive. Of course, it's not very sporty. It does brake quite hard with the two-finger movement. And yeah, at the front and at the back, the brakes are quite good. Of course, I did expect it a little bit better. I have experienced much better brakes on the Street Triple 765 RS, the Triumph. But here, I still don't have complaints. It's just that it's not that well finished as the 765. In terms of braking, most of it, like I said, it's an able handler. Side to side transitions don't feel that heavy, and it's a very easy motorcycle to ride. You can ride it very fast and hard, and you can feel confident and comfortable at the same time. And I think that's what makes a motorcycle quite an all-rounder package. This is quite clearly one of that motorcycles. Superbikes are also getting better and better in the way they respond. This naked rooster also is gaining traction throughout the world in the way it looks, behaves, and everything it offers. And in India, BMW Motorrad is also offering the same package, and it's great to see motorcycles like this, because these are motorcycles that are going to be your next upgrade if you're riding something between 300 to 600. And you should definitely look at the F900R, and you will be really impressed with what it has to offer. I think the pricing is good. It could have been better, but 10 lakh rupees ex-showroom for this does put it in the ballpark of the Street Triple RS, but it should have been in the Street Triple R and the S area. And it's a bit expensive, but then BMWs usually are, because the quality levels, the motorcycle is absolutely really well done. It just streaks of quality. It doesn't make you feel shortchanged in any area, and I think that's where the value comes in, and that is why you should definitely consider a motorcycle like this if you're in looking for a motorcycle in this segment and this price tag. I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching our video, guys. Subscribe to our channel, like this video, have some questions, put them in the comment section below. We'll be happy to answer it. Notification bell, follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.